Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. I just got done watching The Upside. And with The Upside, it follows Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. This is an American remake of a British film called The Intouchables. And they both follow the same general plot. You have your protagonist played by Kevin Hart, who is a down-on-his-luck guy. He does have a criminal record, is fighting for custody of his son, and is also in need of a job. Bryan Cranston plays a quadriplegic who happens to be very wealthy and in need of someone taking care of him and his daily activities. These two individuals will be getting together for over 2 hours just to try to make you feel warm and fuzzy and make you laugh. That's all pretty much said without giving any spoilers to you guys. So like I said, this is an American remake, and once I knew that from way back when this movie was being announced, because just on paper, the sound of this, Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston, the story behind it, you think, damn, this has potential right here. So I purposely did not watch the British version just because that movie is so well regarded, has such rave reviews that I knew watching that I would just have unbelievable expectations for this movie, but I think even if I had those expectations, it wouldn't have really have met them. This movie is pretty interesting to me because you have such potential here with the story you're covering and the cast you have. Say what you will about Kevin Hart and what's going on with him and the whole Oscar situation, that stuff aside, I am a fan of his. I enjoy his comedy and I take his movies for what they are, just silly, dumb, good times. But I'm always waiting for actors and comedians like Kevin Hart to take that next step into a more serious role and prove that they have more to provide than just to make you laugh, and that's what I was hoping this would be for Kevin Hart. With Bryan Cranston, you don't expect much from him because you know this man is already a great actor, has proven himself, so you know he's going to bring nothing but excellence to the role. For one, the Kevin Hart character is just very unlikable, especially from the beginning, and that is all part of his story arc and his overall character development throughout the movie. You're not really supposed to sympathize with him at first, but even throughout the movie and his character changes, you still find it hard to really relate to this guy because, yeah, you're down on your luck, yeah, you have a bad past, yeah, you're trying to fix yourself up and be better for your son, but this character is just so hard to root for at times. The Bryan Cranston character is great and does what he can as just sitting in a chair, but his charm, his wittiness, and the dramatic moments are all pulled off very well when they need to be done. The movie, to me, just really suffers from this imbalance of a tone. You have some deeply serious moments in this movie where there's no music and it's complete silence in the scene, and you're just taking in the seriousness of this guy not being able to see his son, of the man who was in an accident and lost everything but has all this money and what's it worth now to him. But then you cut to scenes of Kevin Hart struggling with a high-tech shower and your overdone Kevin Hart jokes that he does in all his movies, the short jokes, the baffling, the being loud. The other thing it has going against it is how long this movie is, because it does run over 2 hours, and I think that was way too long for this movie because you do start to feel the length of it, and there's also a lot of things going on in this movie that could have really have been taken out that feel like filler, that don't really progress the story and are just there for simple comedic moments. Not to mention the overall conflict in this film happens way too freaking late. It's literally over 2 hours in where you get the major conflict to these characters. And I found myself looking at the clock thinking, okay, something just happened in this movie that needs to be resolved before it ends, and we already have 2 hours into this movie, and as you would have it, they wrap up this climactic scene in a matter of 10 minutes. I guess you could say I'm being overly harsh in it, but there were some redeeming moments. There are moments where you are laughing at what Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston are doing in this situation, because whether the tone was imbalanced or not, their chemistry did show up on screen. And you do have these slim and small moments where you're like, damn, this is a serious topic right here, and it's starting to hit me. And it's in those moments you get a glimpse of what this movie could have been. There are no big surprises. If anything, to me, this is comfort junk food you show to someone who barely watches movies and they think, wow, that's an amazing movie. But to me, this movie is just the equivalent of junk food. It's something you'll enjoy, but it's not really all that good for you. So for The Upside, I'm gonna give action 1 star. There is 1 or 2 car chases in this movie. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. There were moments where I seriously laughed at what was going on with Kevin Hart and the Bryan Cranston character, but other than that, it was very slapstick and silly and didn't mesh well with the overall tone. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars because while Bryan Cranston really pulled off those serious moments, the story, like I said, is just too predictable to carry on forward. Art in the film, I'm gonna give no stars. There really isn't anything you need to be scared of in this film. And suspense in the film, I'm gonna give it 1.5 star because they don't really do a good job of building any sort of suspense in this film. You understand where everything is gonna land by the end of it. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a B+. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it a C-. And critically, I'm going to give it an F. For The Upside, I think this is a movie you can enjoy when you rent it.
Play the movie.
But that's just my opinion of what I think about With the Upside, guys. Let me know what you thought about this movie if you got around to see it. Are you a big Kevin Hart fan? Do you think he could have done more with this movie? Or are you just fine with it being a simple, basic movie you can enjoy? Because you can enjoy it, but there was just so much potential here. But be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. And as always, I'm Chris. Take care.